So to cover scenario one, the situation is that a coach hears a rumor that some veterans are going to welcome the rookies to the team. The coach trusts the veteran players and plays along with the team initiation. Later that night, the coach receives phone calls from three different parents stating that their sons were physically and psychologically abused by veterans. This is clearly duty 10, which was infringed upon. Duty 10 is to protect against physical and psychological harm from others. Parents calling and complaining about physical and psychological harm to their sons from players, veteran players, is an immediate infraction of that duty. What should have been done to mitigate or manage the risk is enforcing policies that work against hazing and work against harassment, and also a more thorough investigation of what was planned by the veterans for the initiation that night. For scenario two, Cindy is a member of the high school swimming team, and she tells the coach that she would like to try diving. So the coach asks her to perform an inward dive, which would be to start the dive backward on the diving board. Because Cindy is looked up to by many of the team members, she decides to go for it, even though she has never done this dive before. She attempts the dive, hits the board, and injures her shoulder. This is definitely duty two, or this scenario is covered by duty two, which is to provide proper instruction. Cindy had not been previously informed or taught or given any form of build-up to this activity that she had never done before, and the coach put her in a situation that to me sounds like sort of a peer pressure situation, feeling that you're in a leadership role, watched by your teammates, you're trying something new, and you injure yourself, and now you can't do the thing that you were initially doing. Cindy, being a swimmer, can no longer swim, and she cannot dive. So to better fulfill that duty, that coach should have created a build-up to an inward dive, and also maybe even demonstrated and given a few key points to look out for, which was not given to Cindy, unfortunately. For scenario three, Jenny was out of school for 3 days, Monday through Wednesday, with a bad case of the flu. She comes to cross-country practice on Thursday and is still a little pale and fatigued. The team is scheduled for a 3-mile run that day, so the coach sends Jenny out with the team. At the 1-mile mark, Jenny passes out and hits the pavement face first, breaking her nose. The duty failed here was duty 7, which is to evaluate for incapacity. Clearly, Judy is still sick, still being pale, still fatigued, and a high effort exercise such as a 3-mile run is not going to equate. That wouldn't follow an NCAA guideline to protect the athletes, and being able to judge or do a pre-practice introduction just to talk with the team, get a gauge of how everyone's doing, and especially Jenny being out for 3 days, you'd think that this coach would take more time to speak with Jenny, see how she's doing, and then send her home, because showing up to practice and then going home is much more the word escapes me, but it's much more virtuous in a way to come and show that you're willing to be organized, willing to participate, even though you can't. So I think that would have been a better plan of action, is give Jenny 1 more day or more, but at least not send her out for a 3-mile run her first day back.